71.6% of Americans are overweight or obese, according to a Harvard survey conducted in 2017 to 2018. That means 71.6% of Americans go to the doctor annually and they are told to lose weight. So if I search how to lose weight in Google, let me go ahead and do that. Alright, how to lose weight. Scrolling up to the top, I see a weight loss pill keto diet. Scrolling down a little further, I see to avoid processed foods, to stock up on healthy foods and snacks. Scrolling down even farther, I see the intermittent fasting diet. I see the Whole30 diet, and I see some meal replacement shakes. So out of these thousands and thousands of search results, as you can see, I can scroll on and on and on. Could probably do that for about a day straight. With all these different results, which one is most proven to help with weight loss? So let's go to the caloric deficit. What that means is to lose weight, I need to be eating less calories than I burn off. So throughout the day, even sleeping, just generally being alive, I always am burning calories, and I can burn more by digesting food, exercising, walking around, all of those different things that causes my body to do extra work. So all weight loss requires this caloric deficit. So if I'm looking at all these different diets I named, I see that almost all of them are going to put me in a caloric deficit. So I'm looking at that keto diet. If you're not familiar with the keto diet, that means you're eating mostly meats, fruits, and vegetables, and cutting out most carbs and sugars. So by cutting out most of those carbs and sugars, I'm cutting out a lot of those calories, which will put me in a caloric deficit. If I'm looking at the intermittent fasting, that means I'm eating food for less hours during the day, which means less opportunities to eat food, therefore a caloric deficit. I can go through all of these different things I named, and all of them are going to put me in a caloric deficit as long as I'm following the diet. So if all of these can put me in a caloric deficit and theoretically are supposed to help me lose weight, why are they not all helping me lose weight? Well, the harder part is keeping the weight off. So if we look at a study conducted in 2013 to 2016, over half of Americans are trying to lose weight. So most Americans are recognizing the problem, but they're having trouble keeping that weight off. Here in another study, we see that 80% of people who lose weight regain most or all of that weight at a later time. So how can we keep that weight off? 1, we can do a small caloric deficit. This will keep our metabolism high and keep our hormones regulated. How does this help me? That means I can eat more calories throughout the day, and I don't feel hungry as often or go into starvation mode. The other thing is, the more I restrict, the more I want those foods that I'm not allowed to have, which is later going to lead to a binge. So again, by keeping the caloric deficit small at about 200 to 500 calories, which is backed by research, I'm going to be able to keep the weight off more so than if I chose a larger caloric deficit. The other thing I can do is after 3 to 6 months of dieting, if I'm getting my calories too low and I get to a plateau, a weight plateau where I'm no longer losing weight, what we can do is go into a reverse diet. So what does that mean? That means I'm going to be eating at caloric maintenance and slowly increasing my calories. So why, if I'm trying to lose weight and I need to be in a caloric deficit, why would I go back up to a maintenance level or even a little bit above that? So by doing that, we're going through a period of time where we might not be losing weight actively, but we're getting my calories higher so I can eat more food and I can regulate my hormones. So again, anytime we go into a caloric deficit, even if it's a small caloric deficit, my hormones are going to decrease. I'm going to start feeling hungrier, and my metabolism is also going to decrease, so I will have to eat less calories. So by going back up, we're teaching our body to start losing weight at higher calories again. So why are the other diets not ideal? So I named the keto diet, the Whole30, the intermittent fasting. I could go on and on. So I'll just take those 3 examples. The keto diet, I'm restricting food groups, and the more I restrict food groups, the more I want those certain food groups. And again, restriction is not great for dieting, shown by many different studies. So it's not ideal for losing weight. Now I'm looking at intermittent fasting. Again, if I tell myself I'm not allowed to eat during certain times, all I'm going to want to do during those times is to eat. So the goal is to only change our diet as much as necessary to get into a caloric deficit and nothing more. So in conclusion, most diets will lead me to a caloric deficit, but they are not sustainable because most times I will regain that weight due to restriction or too big of a caloric deficit. So what can we do? We can go to the small caloric deficit of 200 to 500 calories, or we can do a reverse diet after 3 to 6 months, and I suggest people do both, cycling between two. Thank you.